Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chasing 300 series. We're on breaking 200. Just a reminder that not only do I want you to break 200 for the first time, but I want you to break it consistently. So all the habits I'm trying to teach you and all the drills I may help you with your game are not only to help you hit the score one time, but multiple. What does it take to get a 200 game? Really, if you doubled one time and had high count the rest of the game and made all your spares, you'd probably shoot 200. But it's not always that easy. Most people who are struggling to get over that hump are opening multiple times a game, needing a string of strikes, whether it be 3, 4, or 5 in a row, to get enough pins to accumulate to break 200. And so today is really going to be about how do we build better habits, how do we mentally overcome some of the challenges that come with opening in the middle of a game or losing a string of strikes. And then we're going to get into some of the habits that need to be formed in understanding what balls to select, and how to really just keep it going, keep a flow going. I mean, to get to 175, you really can mess up a few times, but to get to 200, we gotta really limit those mistakes. What are some of the good and bad habits of trying to break 200? Some of the bad ones, we're missing makeable spares still. I'm going to talk about that in just about every video, because honestly, the best spare shooters and those who actually put some work and effort into it, their average increases way faster, because striking is hard, especially multiple times in a row. But one of the biggest habits we have to start forming is hitting the pocket more often. The more often we're hitting the pocket, the more often we're leaving makeable spares, and the more often we're getting high count. And that's so important in breaking some of these series. Nothing worse than having a 3-bagger and following it up with 7-0. You lose so many pins in count. And when we're really trying to build some consistency and increase our average from anywhere from 10 to 15 pins, it really is one shot a game. For some of you, I'm going to hit you with a reality check that you're not going to be super fond of. But if you really want to break 200 and do it consistently, mental game's got to be pretty strong. And it's got to be a work in progress at all times. When it comes to pre-shot routine, I'm going to work with this, again, with every skill level, but it's got to get better all the time when you start getting into the higher averages, because the amount of missed room to get the score you want becomes smaller and smaller. And so in a pre-shot routine, as you can see, I have a few things up here. I have my rosin bag, I have my rosin ball, and my dry towel, right? And so in my pre-shot routine, if you watch me on TV or if you watch me even practice, you watch me compete anywhere, I'm going through the same routine at all times. And I'm trying to do that to make every shot feel the same. And for some of you, and myself included at times, you know, if I get into a tournament and I have the front 6, of course I'm thinking about 300, just like everybody else. We're all on the same page there. Very few are like, yeah, I don't know, I just think about one shot at a time. It's so hard to do. You're always thinking ahead. Everybody does it. We're human. However, some people handle it better than others. And I do believe that pre-shot routine and building something very consistent where you can treat every shot very similar matters. And we are human, right? And so when we make mistakes, the biggest thing about building a more consistent average is how fast can we overcome them. Bowling is a game of rhythm and getting into a good motion over time, right? And you'll find that you throw one good shot, sometimes it leads into 2, sometimes into 3, and then so on, right? And then we really get into a flow. But the same can be said when we throw one bad. If we throw one bad, we're like, dang, we missed 5 right there. And you know, like I said, we make mistakes, but most commonly, what are you gonna do on the next shot? That thing's going 5 left. And now we're like, whoa, what is going on? How do we get back to reality and throw it where we want? You know, it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of emotions, or it's a roller coaster of, you know, you start with the first 2 in a game, you're like, oh my God, life is great, I'm gonna crush it today. And then, you know, 7-10 split comes around, you're like, oh, maybe I'm not. It's just, I understand the ebbs and flows of that. However, it is a boring concept, but if we can build a one shot at a time mentality where we treat it, where we go through a pre-shot routine every single frame, where we go through our process of looking where we need to, whether it be targeting, where we're standing, going through all those processes, it should be a checklist, right? Somewhere between 3 and 7 things. Where am I gonna throw the ball? How fast do I wanna throw it? What type of ball roll? Am I standing in the right spot? Am I rotating my hand the correct way? All these things are factors. And when you're trying to break 200, I would say that you should have a checklist of 3 or 4. As long as your targeting is good, your speed control is pretty good, we're standing in the correct spot every frame, and our direction's pretty steady where we're starting the ball on line more often than not, we're gonna have a really good chance as long as we're in the right equipment. All right, when we talk about equipment, easily the most complicated part of bowling, by far. I mean, there's so many numbers and covers and all these things, and you probably watch all these ball videos on YouTube like, wow, this ball's gonna be the greatest thing ever for me. We're gonna keep it simple. We have to keep it simple, especially when you're at this part of the game. If you have a bowling ball that works well for you, and it is, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, a 5, you're not going to go drill something at a 9. Not if you want something close to what you have that reacts just a little different. If you're hitting the pocket often, you're struggling with flat 10s, you're struggling with some 7 pins, maybe even 5 pins for some of you, it's not life-ending or life-changing. You need something just slightly different, something that gives you a little more energy. I'm using 2 examples here. If I go bowl league at, let's say, Holly Lanes, for example, I'm going to probably use something in this category. They hook quite a bit there. But that's not to say that when I ball change from something like a coral, if I think that this isn't hooking much, I'm not gonna go all the way to something like a Crimson Jackal or a Jackal Ghost. I'm gonna go something that's a little more down lane in the same category, right? My Maxwell Pearl here, very similar type of core shape, similar numbers. It's just gonna get boomerang down lane more. You know, we're gonna get all that hook that we need, and it's not gonna be life-changing. And so what I really find and what I struggle with watching even some of my lessons that come in here, when I go watch league, I watch some of my buddies bowl league, they go from this biggest ball in the market, like, oh yeah, I'm hitting the pocket, it's going great, to something kind of lower end. They're like, well, it's later in the day, I need my ball down lane. It's not how it works. You need to keep it closer together, especially if you bowl in one league, one center a week, keep it close. Keep it, like, figure out what works there, get something in the same realm. Now, if you're bowling tournaments and we need a whole arsenal, yes, you want to vary it up. You want to have some differences. But if you're a low speed, high rev rate player, you shouldn't be throwing the biggest balls in the market all the time. You should be hanging around some of the middle and lower end stuff. If you are a low rev rate, high speed player, maybe a little on the older side, you're losing some rev rate, you should be in those bigger balls. Get the biggest ball in the market, have fun with it. But just remember that once you get close, don't change it up by a ton. That's like if I don't know, if I have a, I don't know where I'm going with that one. I was gonna say something along the lines of like, if I feel like I can hit a driver 250, I'm not gonna go search for 300. That's just not obtainable. Like, you wanna stay close and you wanna build slowly. Now in 3 years from now, 2 years from now, could I get there? Sure. But when you're bowling and you are close, we use the word close in bowling all the time. Wow, I hit the pocket so many times, I left all those pesky corner pins. You are super, super close. And so because of that, you need something close to what you have, but a little different. Make sure you trust your pro shop operator. Make sure you have them watch you bowl. Get the layouts needed for you, get the equipment needed for you, and that's gonna be a huge step in breaking 200. We're not doing mini drills today. I'm not gonna show you all these physical tools you need to change to break 200, because the most interesting part about this for me is that if you can shoot 200 once or twice, you can definitely do it multiple times. You're at the stage of your game that you have physical things that are going really well. Now it's about, what is our practice regimen like? Are you practicing once or twice a week to build better skills, to refine your own? Are we taking notes while we're bowling league? And most importantly, how many clean games can we bowl? I mean, if you bowled an entire set of 3-game league and you were clean through all of them, you probably have 200 games at minimum. And that's because you can double. Like, if you can throw one strike, I tell everybody this, if you can do it once, you can do it again. And if you can do it twice, you can definitely do it again, right? And so when we start talking about being able to overcome 200, it's really about those little things that start to build up, and they have to become more consistent. As you can see, I have a notepad here. When I'm bowling competition, and many people, I mean, everybody has a phone with them, right? You're bowling league, you're texting on it, doing whatever. If you throw good shots, write down what felt good about it. If you throw bad ones, what went wrong? And start to build ideas of, what am I doing well, what am I not? And now you know what to practice on. But at the end of the day, taking notes, like, okay, on Thursday night, I was able to stand 18 and look at 10, and that worked really well with this ball. I came back the next week and I felt like I had to stand 5 farther left. and then start to build an idea, why did that happen? Was it the lanes? Was it you? Building these routines that allow you to overcome difficult situations, build more clean games. It's just so vitally important of really overcoming this hump, which I think is the biggest hump to overcome. And it's really on the mental side of it. Physically, please watch the other videos. So many of those drills will still help you at this level of your game, but this is to really overcome this hump. It's going to take some mental fortitude, some practice, and some really good work ethic. The coolest thing for me about doing YouTube videos is being able to show, so many more people what it's like to be able to, one, train here at Turbo, but two, help you along your way. Give you a little inside look of my coaching style, how I help others, what I do to get better over all these years, right? You're capable. Everybody's capable. I've had so many different age groups, skill levels come through here and have success. And using all these tools and, notes and all these things that I'm sharing with you guys here now on YouTube. And so I hope you take a little bit out of this, but you can do this. Bowling is an incredibly hard game. It takes a lot of learning curves, and you're always going to get a little worse before you get a ton better. So take it in stride. You got this, and I hope this helps. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.